At just 46 years old, the boxing legend fought a battle far more personal, one that few saw coming. His name became synonymous with courage inside the ring, but out of it, Ricky struggled in silence with depression, addiction, and thoughts of ending his life. The news of his passing hit fans, friends, and the entire sporting world like a gut punch. Found at his home in Greater Manchester, the police confirmed there were no suspicious circumstances, but that didn't ease the pain. Hatton's comeback fight, scheduled for December 2025 in Dubai, had been just weeks away. He had been training hard, sweat dripping down his face, determined to fight again. His last post showed him running on a treadmill, grinning through exhaustion, raising his fist in triumph. But that image now feels like a bittersweet farewell, a glimpse of the man who kept pushing forward while quietly battling inner demons. In the years after his glorious rise, Ricky openly spoke about the struggles that haunted him when the lights dimmed. He confessed to sinking into alcohol abuse, using drugs, and losing hope. He remembered crying every day, unsure what to do, how to fight the darkness. At one point, he even admitted to planning to drink himself, trying multiple times to end it all. It's a stark reminder that even heroes aren't immune to despair. Instead of hiding away, Ricky turned his pain into action. He became one of the most candid voices in mental health awareness. He spoke openly about how the hardest fights aren't with opponents in the ring, they're with the battles in your mind. In 2023, forward as an ambassador for suicide prevention campaigns, encouraging people to talk about their struggles, seek help, and know they're not alone. Fellow fighters like Amir Khan praised his honesty, calling him a role model for those grappling with similar issues. His final message to fans: evening run in the bag. Don't you worry about that. Our kid now stands as a haunting testament to his relentless spirit. Even while pushing himself through pain, he stayed committed to helping others rise from their lowest points. The boxing world mourns not just the loss of a fighter, but a man who revealed his scars and showed that true strength isn't measured by the titles you hold. It's measured by the courage to face your darkest moments. Ricky Hatton's story is a painful reminder that even the strongest among us carry battles unseen by the cheering crowds. Ricky Hatton's rise wasn't a fluke. It was the result of relentless determination and a fighting spirit that refused to back down. Once he turned pro, it didn't take long before he started stacking up titles and making a name for himself across the boxing world. In the early 2000s, Ricky captured the British and WBU light-welterweight belts, defending the latter a record 15 times, a feat that showed just how hard it was to knock him off his game. But it was in 2005 that everything changed. On June 5th, in front of more than 20,000 screaming fans at Manchester Arena, Ricky pulled off one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. He faced off against the IBF light-welterweight champion Kostya Tszyu and didn't just win. He stopped him in the 11th round, claiming the world title and turning himself into a hometown hero overnight. That fight wasn't just a win, it was a defining moment. The crowd erupted, tears in their eyes, as Ricky's dream of becoming a world champion finally came, unifying the IBF and WBA titles and solidifying his place among the... But from showing the world that strength isn't about perfection. It's about being real, being kind, and never backing down from who you are. Ricky Hatton made serious money, around $65 million from fights, and by the time he passed, he was worth about £40 million. But he wasn't one to flash it around just for show. Sure, he lived in a stunning mansion with a pool, cinema, and spa, and drove luxury cars like a Rolls-Royce and custom Range Rover, but it was all part of enjoying the ride, not showing off. He even pulled pranks on his friends, once arriving at the gym in a replica of the Only Fools and Horses van, making everyone laugh. That's who he was, someone who loved life's finer things, but never let them change him. Behind the wealth, Ricky stayed true to his roots, keeping it real, staying humble, and proving that success doesn't mean losing yourself. He lived large, laughed loud, and never forgot where he came from. Behind the fame and the fights, family was at the heart. Even with all the pressures of being a world champion and a public figure, he never lost sight of what mattered most: the people he loved. Ricky was a proud father of 3 children. His long-term relationship with Jennifer Doley, which lasted from around 2005 to 2016, was the foundation of much of his personal life. Together, they had 2 daughters, Millie, born in 2011, and Fern, born in 2013. Ricky adored them and often spoke about how being a dad kept him grounded amidst the chaos of life in and out of the ring. From an earlier relationship, he also had a son, Campbell, born in 2001 with ex-girlfriend Claire. Campbell even followed in his footsteps, stepping into the world of boxing for a time, a proud legacy that Ricky supported wholeheartedly. As the years went by, the family grew even further. By 2025, Ricky had become a grandfather, with Campbell's daughter, Leia, born in 2020. Even with the ups and downs of life, Ricky remained close to his kids and grandchildren, making it a point to be there for them, whether it was celebrating milestones or offering guidance during tough times. Those who knew him often mentioned how family was his anchor. Even in interviews where he spoke about his struggles, he'd circle back to how much his children meant to him. He stayed on friendly terms with Campbell and the girls, always striving to keep those relationships strong, despite the challenges that came with his career and personal battles. Religion wasn't a major focus for Ricky. He rarely spoke about it in public. What mattered more was love, loyalty, and being present. He wasn't one to preach or perform. He simply showed up when it mattered most. Ricky's life wasn't perfect, no one's is. But his commitment to his family, his pride in being a father and grandfather, and his desire to be there for them no matter what, made him more than just a champion in the ring. It made him a hero at home, a reminder that strength is measured not only by how hard you hit, but by how deeply you care. Ricky Hatton wasn't just a fighter. He was a man who showed how tough life can really be. Sure, he won world titles, made millions, and lived in luxury, but that's not what made him unforgettable. What made him stand out was how openly he talked about his struggles, depression, addiction, and even thoughts of ending his life. Some say champions are supposed to be tough, never complain, always on top. But Ricky broke that image. He showed the world that even heroes fall, and asking for help doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. So, what do you think? Should fighters like Ricky be praised for being honest about their struggles, or do you think showing weakness makes them less of a champion? Drop your thoughts and comment. But Ricky didn't stop there. In 2006, he made the bold move up to the welterweight division, taking on Luis Collazo for the vacant WBA title. In a tough, gritty fight, Ricky knocked Collazo down in the very first round and held on to claim victory on points. His defense of that title further strengthened his reputation, making it clear that he was a force to be reckoned with. By the end of 2006, Ricky's record stood at an astonishing 43 wins and no losses. He wasn't just another boxer climbing the ranks, he was a sensation, one of the sport's brightest stars. But with that glory came bigger challenges. In December 2007, Ricky faced the unbeaten Floyd Mayweather Jr. in Las Vegas, a clash that boxing fans across the world couldn't wait for. Mayweather, often called the pound-for-pound king, proved too slick and sharp for Ricky's power and aggression. Ricky was knocked down twice and suffered the first defeat of his career, a crushing blow to the undefeated record he had proudly built. Still, he bounced back, but fate had more in store. 2 years later, in May 2009, he faced Manny Pacquiao, another superstar whose speed and strength overwhelmed Ricky. The fight ended in a brutal third-round knockout, marking Ricky's third loss and signaling a sharp turn in his career. Despite the setbacks, Ricky remained a warrior at heart. Every fight, win or lose, showed his willingness to give everything, to push past fear and pain. He wasn't chasing perfection, he was chasing passion. Even in defeat, fans respected him for standing tall, giving it his all, and never backing away from the challenge. Ricky Hatton's story wasn't just about titles and victories, it was about heart, resilience, and the drive to keep fighting no matter the odds. Outside the ring, Ricky Hatton was never about flash or showmanship. He was about connection. He wasn't the kind of celebrity who distanced himself from his fans or acted untouchable. Instead, he embraced who he was, a down-to-earth, fun-loving guy from Manchester who loved a good laugh and never took himself too seriously. One of the things that made him so relatable was his everyman attitude. He was proud to be from the working class, proud to represent Manchester, and never shied away from wearing his heart on his sleeve. That's why when he entered the ring, it wasn't to intimidate, it was to inspire. He'd walk out to Manchester City's anthem, Blue Moon, with a grin on his face, waving at fans who knew him as one of their own. Ricky's humor and prankster spirit were just as legendary as his fists. He loved playing practical jokes, famously arriving at the gym one day in a replica of the Only Fools and Horses van, a cheeky nod to British humor that left everyone in stitches. It showed he didn't care about fitting into the celebrity mold. He just wanted to have fun. He was also one of those personalities you couldn't help but like. Friends and fans alike praised him for his warmth, generosity, and willingness to support others. Whether it was helping fellow fighters or lending a hand at charity events, Ricky always showed up with a smile and open arms. Even in the spotlight, he remained approachable. He made appearances on television shows, went on speaking tours, and even joined reality competitions like Dancing on Ice in 2024, proving that he wasn't afraid to try new things and enjoy life outside boxing. He didn't use his fame as a shield, he used it to connect, laugh, and give back. But beyond the jokes and smiles, those close to him knew just how much heart he carried. He lived life with a contagious passion that inspired others, whether it was through his fights, his candid conversations about struggles,